Kandy is a large city in central Sri Lanka. It's set on a plateau surrounded by mountains, which are home to tea plantations and biodiverse rainforest. The city's heart is scenic Kandy Lake Bogambara Lake, which is popular for strolling. Kandy is famed for sacred Buddhist sites, including the Temple of the Tooth, Sri Dalada Malagawa Shrine, celebrated with the Grand Asala Parahara annual procession. Anuradhapura is a major city in Sri Lanka. It is the capital city of North Central Province, Sri Lanka and the capital of Anuradhapura district. Anuradhapura is one of the ancient capitals of Sri Lanka, famous for its well-preserved ruins of an ancient Sinhala civilization. Galle is a city on the southwest coast of Sri Lanka. It's known for Galle Fort, the fortified old city founded by Portuguese colonists in the 16th century. Stone sea walls, expanded by the Dutch, encircle car-free streets with architecture reflecting Portuguese, Dutch and British rule. Notable buildings include the 18th-century Dutch Reformed Church. Galle Lighthouse stands on the fort's southeast tip. Due to its large harbor and its strategic position along the east-west sea trade routes, Colombo was known to ancient traders 2,000 years ago. It was made the capital of the island when Sri Lanka was ceded to the British Empire in 1815, and its status as capital was retained when the nation became independent in 1948. In 1978, when administrative functions were moved to Sri Jayawardhanapura Kotte, Colombo was designated as the commercial capital of Sri Lanka. Nuwara Eliya is a city in the tea country hills of central Sri Lanka. The naturally landscaped Hotgala Botanical Gardens displays roses and tree ferns, and shelters monkeys and blue magpies. Nearby Sita Aman Temple, a colorful Hindu shrine, is decorated with religious figures. Densely forested Galway's Land National Park is a sanctuary for endemic and migratory bird species, including bulbuls and flycatchers. Jaffna is a city on the northern tip of Sri Lanka. Nallur Kandaswamy is a huge Hindu temple with golden arches and an ornate Gopuram tower. By the coast, star-shaped Jaffna Fort was built by the Portuguese in the 17th century and later occupied by the Dutch and British. Jaffna Public Library is a symbol of the city's post-war regeneration. Jaffna Archaeological Museum has Dutch cannons and pre-colonial artifacts. Trincomalee is a port city on the northeast coast of Sri Lanka. Set on a peninsula, Fort Frederick was built by the Portuguese in the 17th century. Within its grounds, the Grand Koneswaram Temple stands on Swami Rock Cliff, a popular vantage point for blue whale watching. The holy complex contains ornate shrines and a massive statue of Shiva. Nearby Gokana Temple has panoramic views over the city and the coastline. Sigiriya or Sinhagiri, Lion Rock pronounced Cgiri, is an ancient rock fortress located in the northern Mattal district near the town of Dambulla in the central province, Sri Lanka. The name refers to a site of historical and archaeological significance that is dominated by a massive column of rock around 180 meters 590 feet high. Waskamua National Park is a natural park in Sri Lanka situated in the Mattal and Polonnaruwa districts. It was declared to protect and to make a refuge for the displaced wild animals during the Mahaweli Development Project in 1984 and is one of the 4 national parks designated under the project. Originally it was designated as a nature reserve in 1938, and then in the early 1970s the area was regraded as a strict nature reserve. Waskamua is one of protected areas where Sri Lankan elephants can be seen in large herds. It is also one of the important bird areas in Sri Lanka. The name of the Waskamua has derived through the words, Wallace Gamua. Wallasa is Sinhala for sloth bear and Gamua means a wood. The park is situated 225 kilometers away from Colombo. Sinharaja Forest Reserve is a forest reserve and a biodiversity hotspot in Sri Lanka. It is of international significance and has been designated a Biosphere Reserve and World Heritage Site by UNESCO. According to International Union for Conservation of Nature (IUCN), Sinharaja is the country's last viable area of primary tropical rainforest. More than 60% of the trees are endemic and many of them are considered rare. 50% of Sri Lankan's endemic species of animals, especially butterfly, amphibians, birds, snakes and fish species. It is home to 95% endemic birds. The hilly virgin rainforest, part of the Sri Lanka lowland rainforests ecoregion, was saved from the worst of commercial logging by its inaccessibility, and was designated a World Biosphere Reserve in 1978 and a World Heritage Site in 1988. Because of the dense vegetation, wildlife is not as easily seen as at dry zone national parks such as Yala. There are about 3 elephants, and 15 or so leopards. The most common larger mammal is the endemic purple-faced langur. Birds tend to move in mixed feeding flocks, invariably led by the fearless Sri Lanka crested drongo and the noisy orange-billed babbler. Of Sri Lanka's 26 endemic birds, the 20 rainforest species all occur here, including the elusive red-faced malkoa, green-billed kukul and Sri Lanka blue magpie. Reptiles include the endemic green pit viper and hump-nosed vipers, and there are a large variety of amphibians, especially tree frogs. Invertebrates include the endemic common birdwing butterfly and leeches.